Alright, we're going. We're going. Yeah, we are. We're going. Okay. Well, hey. Hey, hey. Well, let me get my mood lighting going. This is my time. And to signal that to my brain, I get my little light doing colors. Hey. Hi, I'm Eric. I'm making a game. It's called the Godkiller. It's a 3D top-down puzzle-solving adventure game. Let's demo. Let's demo. Let's show you. Let's show you what's going on. Here we go. Let's see. Okay. We'll start from the boot. Start from the boot. Play. Okay. So now I've got some videos I'm watching of people playing the game, and this early version that I sent out to a limited number of people. I tried to hit a couple grief points. One was everybody's got to keep on click bump when they're walking around. It wears on you. It makes you feel impatient. Your fingers start hurting after a bit. It can't be this way. So in the game we've got flinging. And I think there's something about flinging that tells you that life ought to be better. When you're walking around like this, slow. What about fast? Can I go fast? Fast? I really want to go fast. So just the fact that flinging is possible in the game and it's enjoyable, it makes you want to go fast all the time. It makes you impatient when you can't. So to alleviate this, because walking is an important part of the game too, it can't all be flinging, or just the puzzles would be more limited. I just did a simple thing. You hold down the key and you keep walking. There's a little delay at the beginning, half second, and then a repeat. Actually, there's a delay of a quarter second, and the repeat is eighth of a second. Didn't want to make it too fast. Didn't want to make it crazy. Wanted to sort of be about as fast as you could go if you were just going with your finger as fast as you could. Because otherwise I'll be incentivizing people to always hold down the key. And that's particularly bad for new players who need to understand it's a stepping game. It's not a real-time action game. Stepping means that things move after you do. And also there's this idea that you're always inside of one square at a time. Okay. The other thing I did is make a series of fixes to the restore screen. Okay. One is it will now go to the level that you most recently visited when you arrive at it. And before, I think it was like I can't remember if it was either starting at the very bottom all the time or if it was starting at the very top all the time. The other thing I did is I decreased the acceleration speed. It is important to allow acceleration to a really fast speed, because later on this screen will have some 3-digit number of levels in it. So if you hold down, it starts getting faster. So if I've got like a few hundred levels in it, it's a good thing to be able to go to the top of the screen in seconds, not minutes. I also dampened the bounce on the end. There's a little bit of bounce just to prove it still exists. That's part of making it feel like a real, not real, I overuse it. playful. I want this screen to feel playful. It could just be a list of levels that you just kind of move over to one, you pick it, and then you go there. I could have done like restore save slots too. I didn't want restore save slots because I didn't want to encourage this sort of time traveling thing where you're managing multiple places in time. Well, just a little more simple. So you should be able to visit any level you've previously been to. The state of that level will just be the same as always the same. You'll start from the beginning. I don't yet see a lot of value in mid-level saves. I'm trying to keep the levels pretty short and small. I think there is a thing though, like the continue. If you exit the game and you come back to it, ought to be where you left off. So I'll probably still bite the bullet and make mid-level saves, but it's not guaranteed I will, because there's another way of structuring this where you just assume it's okay for a player to, waste a couple minutes resolving the first part of a level or something like that, or they'll go on to the end of the level and just be at the next one. But I imagine there will be some levels along the way that they've got more scope to them. They've got a greater play time inside of them. I might want to make something like a big level full of challenges inside of it and have the state of it be kept. So I'm still thinking about that one. But for now, restore is always to the beginning of a level. And if you exit and come back, you'll continue from where you left off, kinda, but at the start of the level that you previously visited. And then one other thing about the key repeat settings while you're playing. I'll make them so they're configurable within the settings screen, but the new player defaults are pretty important. Okay. So I want to continue with some level design tonight for a few hours. 6 now, coming up on 6. Yeah, a couple hours. I think I can finish this level that I would like to go in. Let's see. Where will it be? So there's the egg, you're born. There's paradise. There's some story stuff there with God. By the way, when I get to this, we're in spoiler territory now. I'm talking about like the arrangement of the levels and story parts and things like that. So spoilers there. For the playtesters, they've seen all these levels. I'm about to create a new one and even talk about it a little bit. So that's a mild spoiler there. It's not a hard level, so you probably don't need to worry too much about it. If you feel like watching this, it's not going to mess up your playtesting. Okay. So, Paradise sets up the conflict between you and God. God kind of being pushy with you, and also he's sad that you didn't follow his plan the way he asked. There's hints of some other things going on there too with his motivations. He's a bit inscrutable. It's hard to say exactly what it is he's trying to do with you, the main player. Deep Corridor, simple puzzle level. The Shaft, another simple puzzle level. Symmetric Calyx, still pretty simple, just getting some basics in. Then the second story level, the Arena, which introduces, or Little Arena, which introduces you to an antagonist who is very ineffective in his antagonism. You're going to have a feud with this little man named Billy. He's not brave. He's not smart. He is proud. It's bad combination psychologically. It's mainly meant to be comedic, but it's also going to have some parallels with all the little men in your lives, the little men and the little women. Usually it's men, though. Yeah, if you're honest about it, it's this particular affliction of being like some proud fuck that doesn't have any capabilities to back it up. It's usually dudes that go down that territory. So this guy is embodying that, and he's silly and irritating and weak, and I think he's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, then should be an insertion point here. Okay, so we got these basement levels. A whole bunch of them. There should be a fork here, a place where you could theoretically go one direction or another. Although, spoiler, the fork is a lie. It's a false fork. There's a joke in it, but there's a point to it as well. We meet a character, the Queen of Forks, and she says to M, who's on this path coming to a fork, make sure you take the right one. Don't go to the basement. It's dangerous. You get lost in there. You go insane. It's just too much. Mentally, it's too much for you. You're definitely not ready to visit the basement. Please stay out of the basement. Instead, go to the All Blocks Plateau, where everyone is waiting for you, and your training can begin there once you go to the All Blocks Plateau. But this lady, she doesn't say which of the two paths is the right one, and she's sort of aloof and unhelpful, and M is forced to choose on her own which one, but it's the wrong one. Whichever she chooses, she'll go to the basement. And it's a silly joke. It's a little prank on the player, but it's setting up a few things. There's some other conversations between M and Billy later on. It needs to have her have made the wrong choice of going to the basement when she was supposed to, rejoin the community of new friends that are waiting for her. Okay, so let's work on the fork. Got a couple hours. I think I can get it done in a couple hours. It's not a hard level to make. I have a piece of art. I'm going to switch over to my big stupid head view so I can go into my email without sharing every little bit of my secrets. Friend of the stream, Evasive Bits, also known as Ian. He's helping me out. And he sent me a 3D model that I can use in this level. Well, I think I can. He did really great before. He sent me these two statues that I put. He sent me one statue that I put into the little arena, but I put two of them in, so I keep saying he sent me two statues. And it was great. It was perfect. It was good low poly, a good low poly design for what I needed. There's lots of really wonderful models on the asset store I could have used. They were too much. His was quite simple and perfect for what I needed. So I'm hoping for a similar success with this fork that he sent me. So let me just move that over. Okay, I can go back to the work view. Let me close my Gmail. Let me close something else. Okay, let's go back to work view so you can see what I'm doing. Fork FBX. New folder. Fork. Paste the item. Oh, let's check it out. Let's check it out. No. Yeah, I do think I'm gonna want to talk to Isak too about the Queen of Forks character model. Okay, let's go to scenes. The fork. All right, here's the Queen of Forks. Yeah, just so you can see his work all in one place. Here's this awesome statue he made. Pretty cool. All right, let's get to the fork. Yeah, this is it. This is what I wanted. Alright, so I'm going to tweak it a little bit and make it something that's repeatable and silly. I'm thinking a little bit along the lines of the Game of Thrones throne. Okay, so let me play with it a little bit before I get all prefabby with it. There we go. All right. Okay, first idea. One giant fork. Okay, on this level it's going to be west. Come up this way. Okay. Yeah, nice thing is I don't even have to worry about like bounding boxes and stuff. This is a one-off type of a model, and I can place it in the level in a way where I don't have to worry about it too much. In fact, I may not even bother to prefab it. I don't necessarily need to. Like, I would prefab it if I thought I was going to reuse it in a bunch of different places and I wanted some nice snap to behavior and box colliders and stuff associated with it. Okay. What did he do for the material? Okay, cool. AEB. checking out your handiwork. Let me try using the same statue material, statue metal. Also, I find that, take this the right way, please, but I find like the fork somewhat comedic. Oh man, today is election day, and I do care about the election. I really do. But I got no appetite to follow it real time. I will check tomorrow morning to see what's up, and I'll probably be irritated by a number of things, and maybe even fearful. But I promised myself I'm not gonna like do the thing where you're just sort of like hanging on every word of the news outlets. It's just, yeah. I know. I don't even know what news you're reacting to, but it's gonna bother me too. Oh, the thing I was saying, EB, is I find the forks slightly comedic because they're like big fat forks, and that's good. That's good for my purposes. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, you get it. Also, you understood like the constraints of this thing. Like, you are gonna see the forks from this overhead view. Like things like the tines having kind of a thickness to them, I think that's going to be helpful. If they came to nice little points, it would maybe get lost. All right, so I think the way to do this is I'll just make sure that these are ignored in raycasts. I'll set them to static. Let's see. And then same for these guys. Then instead of prefabbing or anything, I'll just kind of go crazy with arrangements right here in the scene and just not worry about them other than being purely cosmetic. Okay. Alright, now let's make a bunch of these things. It'll be crazy time with the forks. I'll make some big ones. These will be the biggest ones, and I'll also have some that are smaller. A little garden of forks. Let's have this be around her. Okay, so all of that look like that. Okay, let's have those guys rotate out. Here, let's take this. hard to rotate them after I've done the first rotation. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay. All right, let's get the symmetry right. What does that look like? Okay, rotate these guys a little bit. $15. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, if I get the first 5 forks placed in a good way, the rest will be easy. So I'm just going to test these out before I add anything else. Oh man, that looks good. Okay, looking for visibility problems. Nope, it's doing good. I think I might move her up 1 square so she sort of stands on her own. All right, I think it's gonna be good. I'm gonna put in a bunch of little forks around the big forks. Half-size forks. I could do kind of an alternating thing. Okay, I think I'm going to give myself 3 sizes of forks. Say these main 2 are kind of defining the structure of the fork formation. And then the little forks will just be a little more random and chaotic. That's my current plan. Might not work. Might give me bad results, I don't know. These guys will have them come out in a impressive way. Boom, boom. Okay. Let's rotate these. Maybe in keeping with the semicircle, we'll have these point inward. Okay. Yeah, we just test it out. As much as I like the sparkle, I think it's overstated. I'm going to see if I can just bring it down a little bit. Like, that's such a giant bloom around that. Let's see what I can do on that. I don't want to go crazy. I don't know, maybe I should. Is it worth it? I'm reluctant to, like universal rendering pipeline. I'm reluctant to kind of rework all that, but maybe since I'm not really enjoying my lighting experience, maybe that helps. I don't know. I still don't really understand what I get out of it, but I'm ignorant. I've read like the top level stuff, but yeah, I just want to make my own shaders. I just don't trust the shader graph stuff. It's kind of, that's also ignorant. I guess people are getting good results out of it. It just feels to me like it wouldn't be as performant as writing your own shader. But it may not matter. It may be, or it may be like a good trade-off between the efficiency of being able to just put something together pretty quick with the shader graph versus coding. All right, let's see. Smoothness. That's probably the right way to fix this. Just come down a little bit. All right. I don't know. I'm guessing. It's kind of like when Java was a thing and everyone said the bytecode interpreter is just as fast as native code. I'm like, how could it be? You're just wrong. I don't believe you. I mean, it's kind of like that. That's how I am. But I don't know. That's the thing. I don't really know. Okay, now I really like these. Now I just turn that bloom down to something normal. Not bloom, but the smoothness. Yeah, the glint off them actually looks pretty good now. And a nice thing too is when I'll put the little ones in, it's going to be Sparkle City because they'll be at all different angles as you walk around. It's going to make a neat effect, I think. Okay. So I got the big ones and the medium ones. Let's make little tiny ones now. So, got one. Maybe that's too small. Let's go a little bit bigger. So we'll make sure we can still see it. Okay. These ones will just be random about. might want to mix it up a little bit, change the rotation, make it look a little more chaotic. All right, more variations. Let's go -65. I have not yet discovered how much is too much on this. Like, it might be best thing is just friggin' carpet of forks. I think I'm going to explore that, if it's just to figure out the optimal amount of forks for craziness and beauty. Okay. There's one thing though, is that if I put too many forks, I don't get as much shadow action off of them. Or I will have shadows, but there'd be so much it might be hard to see what's going on. Anyways, I still want to explore the how much is too much angle on it, so let's go. This feels like the kind of art project that somebody that went to Burning Man would come up with. Also, I've got a rule that I only want to show these floor squares if the player can reach that point. So I'm going to change the top texture. Let me see what I got already. Blunderton. Let's see. Level. Hit me up. I'll see what I can do. We also got like evasive bits here. He might be interested. I don't know. And maybe our man is still here. I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm just ask away. We'll see what we can come up with. This might be a good place to use this. Let me try this one. Well, first off, undo that, because I only want okay. That's too much. That's not bad. Okay. Makes sense. All right, now we'll do the silly thing of putting forks on the forks. It's got to be so forky. Okay, in W. So like you're doing a WASDA thing. Okay, so when we'll jump in 3 directions and not change directions mid-air. So I want to make it so that if the player is pressing both A and W, then the player jumps diagonally. But you don't want to mid-jump allow the player to change direction. And realize also, I don't know when you're done typing. So you maybe add some cues, like if when you're done, say I'm done or whatever, or end with a question or something. Okay, the thing is, when you try to do that, the player either jumps 3 millimeters, not nearly high enough, or the double input doesn't register. Yeah. So it's going to be hard to say, okay, cool, thank you. It's going to be hard to say, like, what the cause of the different bugs you've described are, without like looking at code and kind of narrowing down into one thing. Because it could come from a whole bunch of things, right? But then if you just want to say, well, how do I do a certain kind of thing? Yeah, we can talk about that. One thing is to think out like what are the variables that you're going to need to keep state in. You don't want to try to make this jump as complicated as for the jumping behavior that's as complicated as you've described. You don't want to try to solely use input to figure out what the behavior is going to be. You want to keep some state. So for example, if the player is jumping or not is one type of state. The initial direction that the jump began with, you want to keep that as state. So if you've got, say, a game object for your player-controlled character, you could have inside there some variables around the state that begins with the jump. So separate out the state that you want to for the jump from the key presses that generate the state. So for example, okay, so you got you got your update, right, and you're gonna check your input in here. You're looking for your WASD, and maybe you were talking about a string value that returns left, right, up, etc. for the platformer. So then let's say your string value current command equals get current command. All right, and that's going to go ahead and return up, down, left, right. I've got something similar in my game too. And what is this function doing? It's looking at your input and checking keys inside of it, right? Things like that. Now this function doesn't know anything about your state for your jump. You got to track that separately. So there'll be things like bool is jumping true or false, for example. String jump direction, one of your 3 values. Okay. Float start jump time. Okay, that's probably enough to do a whole bunch of things with jumping. That might be all you need. So then here you're saying, okay, if is jumping, I don't know, if you're jumping, is there any kind of input that you can do that changes what you're doing while you're jumping? From what you described, it doesn't sound like there is. So let's say if not is jumping, that's when it gets interesting. If you're not jumping, and you say if the current command, oh well, here's another maybe issue with having this only return up, down, left, and right. You could have this thing check for combinations of keys. So you were saying, like, if you hold up and left together, that's one kind of jump. So you could have it return jump left, jump right. Okay. So instead of having it return up or left, you could have this thing which is looking at which keys are pressed, return jump left or jump right. So you could say if current command equals jump left, then you set, like, let's see, let's do if current command equals jump left or current command equals, oh, okay, how do you do the checking the input to have it return like one of these commands? We can go into that if that's what you're asking. Yeah, let's look at that next. Okay, so let me say string, okay, current command. Okay, so you say, yeah, you bet. So you say if input key down, key code up, then we know this is you know, the start of, you know, one of the 3 jump commands being issued. Okay, then we say if input key down, actually it should probably be key, because key will check if like a key is continuing to be pressed as opposed to one discrete event for it going down. Okay, so we say if the input key code, oh, you're doing WASD, so W A return jump left. So if input key code D turn jump right. Otherwise, normal jump right, just straight up, return up, I guess. Or you could say jump up if you wanted. I don't know what down does for you, but anyways. So if you've got this kind of logic here, it's going to help interpret the keys in a way a little bit, so you don't have to work as hard down here. The other combinations, I think, was if input key code A return, let's say key down on this one, left, and then D. Right. So this one here is covering the jumping cases where you're holding down on W and then also maybe A, maybe D, maybe just W by itself. This one is covering the cases where you're not jumping. I'm assuming you had. I'm assuming maybe too much. I kind of thought maybe. No, you say above, then the player could move left or right. So I think this case still works for what you're trying to do. So here you're jumping. There's combination checks. Down here it's just movement checks, not jumping. Okay. So this is a nice way to separate. You have a function that's going to look at the input and not decide anything except what is the command or the verb that the player is requesting. Okay? Don't put any state about the game up here. Just have it look at the input and return a command that the player is requesting to do. Then down here you got to think about your state for your jump and just set the values that you need to perform that, because this update's going to get called a bunch of times, right? And it will be in different states when it gets called, and then you do the thing that's appropriate for the state you're in inside of update. So what do you think, Plentyton? I'm not going to try to write out all the code, but does that address the sticking point for you? Like it doesn't debug your code. I mean, you describe some problems, but like I said, it's just unless we're looking at code together, it's pretty tricky to pull that apart and figure it out. Cool. You want me to send you a paste bin? I'll send you a paste bin and we'll take any time. We got that guy there. And let's drop it in the chat. There you go. All right, fork time. Crazy forks. Let's make it crazy. Let's make it crazy like Darth Maul's stupid lightsaber. No. I'm going to do a little preview on this and see how obnoxious it is. If it's good obnoxious or bad obnoxious, I don't know yet. Well, it is making me laugh. So I feel like if I'm going to put... Yeah. Let's see. So if I'm going to put the side forks on this fork, then... So this lady here, her name is the Queen of Forks. And she gives directions to the player that the player must take the right path at the fork in the road. And then there's all these forks here as well. So she's the queen of every type of fork. All forks are her domain. And I think I will try to make her a recurring presence and have a few more fork jokes in the game later. Okay, so these side forks, every fork belongs to her. When you're eating your food, you assume that's your fork, you're wrong. It's her fork. She's letting you borrow it. If I put these side forks here, it's a little too much with the side forks. Because I'd either need to repeat them on all these or make this fork bigger to have the side forks on it on its own. So I don't mind being ridiculous, but it starts getting hard to process, like what am I looking at, that kind of thing. I'm taking off the side forks. With some reluctance. Alright, so what happens though if I just make this fork carpet a little bit denser? Maybe twice as dense. I don't think I maxed out here yet. Also, I'm going to want to put some kind of spotlight right on her. She's the sort of person who demands the focus of attention go to her. She is a queen after all. That might be enough forks. All right, let's get a spotlight. Um, kinda. But it's not the main thing I struggle with. As far as, here's the thing. You get older and everything claims your time. Everything. Just lots and lots of things. You'd never have enough time to do anything. So, if I ever have time for my own personal projects, yeah, I'm motivated. It's precious. Just flies by so fast. So, there is that. And then I arrange things in this sort of psychological game for myself to make myself keep going on this project, and I made a good game for myself. It works just fine. I talk about a game, I'm making a game, but there's another mental game. This kind of sums it up. The Holy Algorithm 1.0. The basic thing is I got to do some work on my project every day. I don't have to do a lot. And actually, it's more than work. You have to make some kind of progress. I have to make some kind of progress. Something I can say, I completed a task that got my project further along. And I say every single day. And I've got a little counter up here. It's all part of the little motivational game. Drifter! Awesome to see you again. So I actually have some sort of set aside tasks that they still count as progress, but they're really small and easy to accomplish. So if there's ever a day when I feel like shit and I still want to look at myself as doing the things that help myself and make me happy in the long run, then I will just do one of these little things. It might be just a 5-minute piece of work, and I get it done, and then I feel good. And like, there's this machinery of me that functions well if I follow all these rules. And that's how I stay motivated. I have to pick something that is important to me, and then set up some rules for going about doing it. Maka, I've never met you before, I don't think. Drifter, man, we got some catching up to do. What's been going on? You still working on the game text engine thing? Yeah, Plentyton, like, your system might be different. I'm not here trying to sell books on the Eric system or anything like that. I think we all get motivated in different ways. Some people get motivated by being like the best at a certain skill. Like, you want to be like a violin player or something like that. So you just like hone that one skill as much as you can. And that's them, it's not me. Some people are motivated by like going through tutorials and picking up knowledge and putting that knowledge in their head. Mega, that's cool. All respect for someone who's learned a second language and can communicate in it well. I know a little bit of Spanish, but it's not as good as even just that little bit of English you put there. Oh yeah. You're in Boxland. You're out in the farm? I didn't know that. Yeah. Alright, so let's see. Let's get this lady lit. Yeah. Get her nice and brightly lit. Now I want like a little balcony out there for her, so I'm going to make that. Wow, that sounds interesting. But like are you living at this facility too? Like it sounds like home and work combined, maybe. I don't quite understand. It sounds interesting though. That's awesome. I mean, maybe it's got its downside, but like I said, it sounds interesting. Right, right. All right. So I want to see if I can make this a working level. Yeah, whenever I start dreaming about alternative living solutions, like getting a cheap piece of land someplace, maybe going off the grid, always like, but there better be good internet. I'm not going to make it if there's not good internet. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. I was wondering, like I never feel like I've never have an expectation that somebody's going to keep coming back to stream again and again, but I was wondering where you drifted off to, and good to see you again. Hope you come by again. Alright, so this one was close to working. I had these set to blank, but I've gotten to a point where I just doesn't look right to me anymore to see. Yeah, Drifter, have a good night. Doesn't look right to me to see these without letters on them. I just can't really deal with it. So let's put those back in. That's better. Alright, so this is a tiny little puzzle down here. It's not real hard. It's good enough. Let's fix the floor here. I don't understand why that's why this is showing up as brushed metal. But I don't have to worry that hard about it. Remove the floor decorator. Okay. There we go. Okay, so then it's just filling in all the gaps, making it impossible to do things like walk on the tops of these. All right. Oh, that's right. I was going to make a new one for this. Okay, scenic wall. Yeah, one thing I've noticed is if I make these game objects too big, they start getting, or the mesh is too complex, they start getting a little bit hard to manage. That's a Pro Builder thing, I'm pretty sure. So I try to break them up a little bit. Yeah, it's a game. I've been working on it for about a year and a half, and you solve puzzles in it, and there's stories, characters you talk to. The story is, you're a woman who's born into a new world that she doesn't understand. It's like an afterlife, and let's see what's up with that. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, and the first person that greets you is God, and he's kind of a jerk. And you're in conflict with him in this new world that he really wants you to like, but it's just not your thing, you the character. Hey mate, what part of the world are you from? I say the ja, and I'm like, okay, what, South America? What's up? Argentina! I work with a whole bunch of people from Argentina. They are all from either Buenos Aires or Rosario. I want to go there. I really do. I'm looking at plane tickets. I've been to Paraguay and Brazil. Brazil, kinda, not too much. But Argentina looks good. Particularly Buenos Aires and Rosario looks real nice to me. I like cities, so if I go, I'll probably go to one of the larger cities like that. And then another thing that makes it fun for me is I get to put my bad Espanol on people. I have to get some practice with it. It's fun for me, hard for everyone else, but I do like Spanish. Yeah, it looks great. It really does. Okay, this is not a good design. Let me fix this. What am I not getting about this? Okay, I just want a narrow wall here, not a big thick wall all the way through. But I don't want to hint at this passage too much, since that's where the secret's at. So let's just drop this guy in. Yeah, on my team, there's like a dozen guys that are from Argentina. My day job at work. This is like my passion project for fun. The other thing, if I go to Argentina, I'm definitely gonna have to learn truco. Truco, I think it's called, the card game, where you're being deceptive and faking everyone out all the time. What? Oh, this is misaligned. There we go. I know. That's what I keep reading. I thought, I'll just figure this out in one evening. Then no, I better like devote a day just to figure out the basics of it, and then being able to play it well. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a really cool game. I don't know mate. Are you talking about the drink, or are you talking about a game? I gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, make sure can't get up on this little ledge. I think you can. Let's fix that. There's some drinks that are like popular in South America, and they just either they didn't make it over, like either like maybe it's illegal or something for the drink to be sold in the U.S., or they're just not popular enough. In Paraguay, it was guarana. All these drinks with guarana in them, and then terroir. I'm so bad with my double R's. Terroir. Okay, yeah. I can't remember what mate tastes like though. I think I've had it before, but I just forgot. Alright, what's the best way to close these off? Okay, that one's alright. For there, just go off there. Okay. You can just put some walls there. It should be good. A little bit, but it's a kind of level that's designed to look confusing, just so it's more interesting to look at, but it's pretty easy. It's actually not difficult to get through at all. These are early levels in the game. I'm trying not to make anything too hard yet. Do you do game development? There's one. Oh, okay. A thesis on game development, though? I think it must be a thesis on something else. I don't know. It's like a doctoral thesis on game development? Huh. Okay. Okay, so let's bring this up to the top like that. I think I'll seal them all off that way, so you can't walk through them. Okay, then there's on the other side. There's a bunch. Oh, so dark here. Too dark to even see. I need a work light. So you just write Tetris in one weekend and you're done. There we go. Make it good and red. That sounds good. Huh. All right, I gotta fill these in. No, your English is good. I think I've understood 97% of everything you said. If you want, we can talk in Spanish, but then it'll be like mi perro toca la guitarra a la playa, you know, like. So your English will be much better than my Spanish. I was in Mexico and I was staying in a hotel or a motel, and the air conditioner, it didn't work in my room. So I go to the manager and I go, mi caja de fría no está operada. And he was just laughing at me. Caja electronidad no está operada. And I think he understood me. He did fix it, but he was just laughing at me the whole time. Also, when I talk in Spanish, I feel like a clown because of how I talk. Like, if I was being serious and speaking in Spanish, it would bother me because I would want to be taken seriously. But I would know my language would be bad. Yeah. But if I was just having a good time in a bar or something, then it's okay. You can be a little silly, right? Like funny, you know, or foolish. People think you're a clown and you're having a good time. Yeah, kind of like a dummy. So like if you're just kind of having a happy time and you seem kind of dumb, then it to me it doesn't bother me. But if I was trying to say something important and I couldn't do it well, or maybe I wanted to have a deeper conversation, but I didn't have the words to have that conversation, then it would bother me. But that's what learning another language is. It's a big challenge. And you've done much more than I ever did. But even for me, it was a challenge for just the small amount of Spanish that I learned. Close that one off. I have to close off all these areas where the player might walk that I don't want them to walk. Yeah, like here, I don't want them to go there. Oh, but one thing that's good about Spanish. Is it's phonetic. So, take the word difficult. Difícil. Difficil. Every letter, you know how it's pronounced. You don't have to memorize the pronunciation of each word. But like some words in English, you just have to memorize them. You know, like though, thought. The OUGH is just that must be a lot of work to memorize them all. Hard part about Spanish compared to English is verb conjugations. That's hard for me, and then remembering the masculine or feminine for nouns. But I don't know. Maybe for you the experience is different. All right. What? Okay, close that off. This is still not all the way closed. People can get up there. That's closed, I think. I will go and walk through this in a moment to see what I can escape into. Blundyton, yeah. Be interested to see how your game comes along. Well, okay, so I will do something about the background. I think the something's off about this. Like, it kind of gives me a horror type feeling when I arrive at it. I think it's the lighting. I have to play with the lighting, just kind of soften it up a bit. So this texture on top, it looks a little freaky too. So I want to get it back to comedy. So that stark lighting is an enemy of comedy and humor. Okay, so I'll play with that. Oh, there's another place I missed. Dang it. Okay. No, there's another one. Okay, because they're just one up. I just need to raise them up a little bit and they'll be fine. Yep. So there's bloom, depth of field, and saturation. And a shader I wrote for outlines. Let's make sure this puzzle works. I'm noticing that my key repeat, which is supposed to just be for walking, is applying to flinging actions too. And that's fix that. Well, thank you. Let's see. Oh, dang it. Didn't want to leave yet. Okay. Make a few more fixes. Not doing too bad for time. I could finish this up by 8 with a little bit of luck. This texture here is creeping me out. Gotta change that. Let's play with it. Alright, this is like bringing the creepiness down. If I do that, that's good. It's just the lighting is a little too stark. I'll fix that. Trying to remember which setting it was. Okay, something like this. Well, let me actually just try that to start with. It kind of looked nice. Alright, then you got a whole different feel to this thing. Alright, yeah, this is going to work out. Let's fix the problems here where you can climb out. I also don't want to be able to fling over to that. Let's just add some more wall there. Oh, I just realized, mate, it's like super late for you. It's like, oh, maybe it's not that bad. It's maybe like, it's like 10:30 p.m. maybe. Yeah, it's everyone in Europe that is like up super late. Okay. Oh, you're right. Daylight savings too. In the U.S., it made the gap between our two time zones further apart today. Okay, so I gotta make a little more stuff up above so that when you float upwards exiting the level, you won't see background. Okay. So for your thesis, what's your game gonna be? Right. Oh, so for your thesis at school, you have to pick a game and work on the game. That's my understanding. What is the game going to be? Oh, okay. He's going to another planet. All right. Let's see. Cool. Cool. Yeah. I didn't play a lot of Zelda, but I do like that genre. Alright, so maybe I want to just pull. Let me think about this. Well, if you get like a video link, that's like a good way to just kind of see it real quick and see, if it's like something I'm into or not. But I'm open-minded. Okay. Leave that. Davey! Yeah, this is like the night where people I haven't seen in a while pop in. Good to see you. Okay, this is so much better. It would just look freaky before. So these forks here, Davey, they're made by another guy that's on the stream a lot. His name is Evasive Bits. Yeah, so I've been real happy to put these in the scene. Prototype, hell yeah, but man, that's where you thrive. You were making like a new prototype every week for a while. But yeah, you're trying to find the thing that sticks. I understand. Okay, I think I blocked off all the stuff good. See a little bit of ugliness behind there. Oh yeah, I got it going in alpha now, and there's like 11 levels, and this is number 12, and yeah, it's moving along. I don't know where I'll get with it next year, but next year I'm gonna try pitching it to publishers to say, hey, the engine's done. I've got a bunch of levels, and just add money and we'll make a nice AA indie game. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Alright, so how do I want to deal with the bottom part? I could just drag the bottom down a little bit further. Put a floor on it. Yeah, I've had good luck with publishers. I'll say that. The thing that has happened to me both times is I'll say the two publishers I worked with were both honorable. The results of the relationship weren't necessarily that great, but they were both good people to work with. And even then, it just depends how you look at the results as far as evaluating it. If you look at just pure money, did I make like a lot of money from either deal? No. And one of the publishers went out of business before I got my game released with them. That wasn't their fault. They were trying. But yeah, I got my guard up. You bet. All right, let's just. Depth of field, I've got it on there actually, and I agree with you. You might have tweaked it a little bit more than I did to make it more obvious, but yeah, it's a good idea, and I've got it on there. It works particularly well with this game because things that are close to you, you don't necessarily want to focus on them, and your eye will do that unless you blur them. Suppose. Just floor this. Just put a floor on the bottom of this. Maybe give it a crazy glowing emission texture and see what that looks like. At this point, I'm just covering up the background. I just don't want the background or the skybox to be visible. I want to use the fog. I don't know. Do I want to use it on this level? I might turn it on and see what it looks like. It's not a bad thought. I haven't really used the fog on any levels yet. I don't know much about it, how it works. Could try it out. Okay, we got that box down there, that's fine. Maybe I'll just turn it on and see what happens. Alright, let's just try the default, see what that looks like. I don't know. Well, I turned it on. We'll see how it looks in a moment. I'm not good at tweaking with the settings on it. I haven't used it before, so I just basically turned it on for the very first time. We will see. We will see what it does. You're scared? You scared of the fog, or what were you scared of? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, let's... Alright, so the other thing I wanted to try was just setting this to a crazy texture with emission. Alright. Alright. And I've got a little thing in here. Alright, let's try that. Well, let's see. Let's see what else I got. So I'm not seeing anything with the fog. I don't think it's affected anything. I probably would need to tweak with the settings quite a bit. Oh, on this side, I need more wall because there's a huge brown spot over here. Let me see. Let me see if this changes much. If I turn the fog back off. Alright, well, I'll just try this again. And I do think I want to keep this level. I did actually. Kind of proud of it. I'm sure there's better ones out there. I've seen better ones, but yeah, because it's a post-processing shader. It works better, I found, than the ones that are material based. The material based ones will kind of tweak the vertexes so that you get like an extra vertex that simulates something that like an outline, but it tends not to get that approach tends not to get these interior corners where my mouse is at. The other thing I got it to do, I don't see it being spectacular at it right now, was the line thickness would change based on the depth from the camera. I'm sure there's more you can do too. It's just a question of like how much CPU you want to burn on it. I've seen some really beautiful ones, and then they would slow down my frame rate. Yeah. I think I'm arriving at some lighting on this that is making me happy. I think I'm going to go for more of a pastel pink well lit thing, and that will make this less of a horror show with all these forks coming up, and more of like a comedic thing. It was good to talk with you, and I hope you hang out some more. Have a good night. And EB, I'm happy to send you the shader code if you want to try it yourself. I mean, dude, you earned it. Look at these forks. Look at the statue. If you see any code in here that you want to have a copy of, just let me know. All right, I think I'm pretty close to finishing this, and that'll be the end of the stream once I get that finished. think it wasn't visible on this side, but just in case it is, I'm going to extend this giant wall to end all walls around this side too. I just want to make sure the skybox floor is just not visible anyplace. So I don't feel like making a lot of detailed stuff down there on this particular level. I'll just have it be enclosed. All right, let's grow that out. All right, did I mess up the lighting? Yeah, it looks all right. Slow it down a little bit. Okay. Change this light to be reddish tint, so I can have it match the color scheme of other stuff. Yeah, it's nice to get a little break from the normal color scheme that I have on the other levels. And if I like getting a break from it, I think the player will too. That greenish, grayish, bluish stuff I've got on the other levels. Has that been done before? That sounds like a good idea. Catch fish and all right, so you catch a fish and then like what's the explanation for how the fish is messing up the character's appearance? Like, does your face change to look like the fish, or like what's the idea there? Okay, you eat it and then it transforms you. Hey, sounds like you're onto something. Make it weird, man. That's where you're your best, when you get weird. I think I'm getting this to a good look. I gotta get the queen glammed up at some point though. I'm just using the standard citizen character there, and it's just not big enough. So, I don't like this little bit here. Fix that. It's just a holdover from the other room. EB, those forks, they look good. I like them. Got the light glinting off them at different angles. They're looking good, I think. Fix this thing. This is out of place. What is it attached to? How can I fix it? Okay, that's a load-bearing structure. So let's do something unambitious with it. I'll just change the top texture so it's same as this. Call it good. That should do it. Alright. Do I want the decorations on this level? It might be nice to have one break from them. They're not really needed to see what's going on. It's more of a cosmetic level than anything else. Maybe I'll just put them down here. Just like the one place where you're properly playing. Okay, so we'll go bam, bam. All right, so that looks a little better. Got a little bit of that in some of the other levels. Yeah, you haven't seen it in a while. I should show you at least one other level. I think this one I'm probably done with for today. I'll do one more run through on it. No, then I'll just demo another level real quick. If you feel like sticking around for 5 minutes. I'm about ready to wrap up. That one I deleted. That one is gone. On to the real levels now. Okay, let's save that. And yeah, I'll go do a different level. Alright, so restore. So that one is an example of what I call diegetic lighting, meaning it's like stuff that's in the scene which provides the light, but I don't know. It's not my favorite level for how it looks. This one is maybe a little nicer to look at. Alright, so you're in this room. There's doors that all say out on them. There's blocks on the ground, also say out. Okay, you disrupt that formation, it causes the doors to open. You can get them back. Alright. And this one's got the stark lighting that I turned off on the other level. Or I should say, I added lots of ambient light to make it pleasant. And this one's all moody and yeah, thank you. There's a secret way to get the bonus on the side. You fling from this side. You get that. Yeah, that's one. Here's one. I can show you the other stuff that Evasive added. Alright, this one's got lots of dialogue in it, but basically these two statues, he gave me those models, or he gave me one model and I doubled them. So just good low poly models, perfect for the game. And I spent some time working on this background city thing over here. Then you go down in the arena, and God wants you to push Billy, wants you to fight Billy, so go ahead and push him, and Billy just runs away. He hides too and cowers and puts his hands up. You can't really catch him, so there's this door over here that you can open. Go up these weird stairs. As soon as you open it, he runs out. I can chase after him. Then he gets to a dead end, and you just kill him. God's good. He died? Yes, I didn't know. Did it feel good to kill? No. All right, man. I think I'm gonna take off. in the stream here. Thanks, man. You too. Good to see you again. Night, EB. Catch you later. Boom. Stopping the stream. Stopping it.